Welcome to Encounters with Pastor Mike.
In the ancient Rome, adoption was a privilege of the wealthy. Because Rome was ruled by a select number of powerful elite, every senator or aristocrat's duty was to produce sons to inherit the estate, the family name, or the political tradition. If none were born into the family, adoption was the solution that was available to them, especially those in the Senate or places of wealth and power, needing to have an heir apparent. However, it was generally at a significant cost, so it was not entered into lightly. Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ, being a Roman citizen himself, was very familiar with this process of adoption. And so in his writings to the church at Ephesus, he uses this term to explain our adoption into the family of God. Now, by the time the gospel was preached here, Ephesus had a population of more than 1 million people, and it was the commercial and export center for all of Asia. But there was a dark side. Within the borders of the 7 wonders of the world, there was the temple of Artemis, a seat of pagan idol worship. But nonetheless, for 3 months, the Apostle Paul taught in the synagogue at Ephesus, and it was the result of that teaching of the gospel that many were saved and the gospel was heard throughout Asia. In Ephesians chapter 1, Paul tells us that before time existed, in fact, in eternity past, God had made plans to adopt us. This is the good news. Although the adoption would cost him the life of his son, he wanted us to carry his name. He wanted us to experience the kingdom. He wanted us to experience life in freedom and without the bondage of sin. He wanted us to experience his love. In fact, in the Message Bible it reads, "He settled upon us as the focus of his love." Our Father signed those adoption papers in the blood of his Son. It was an adoption made by his own decree in eternity past. And now I sit in heavenly places, eat at the table prepared in the presence of my enemies, and I rest beside the still waters while he restores my soul. My heavenly Father has given me all the riches of the kingdom. He's given me a city that sits on a hill that cannot be hidden. He has given me the power to decree and to declare with boldness and courage, knowing his word is backed by the confidence of 1 John 5:14, that if we ask anything in his name and according to his will, it shall be done. Therefore, your declaration has to be, I will proclaim to those in my world and to the uttermost parts of the earth that I am adopted and that there is no family I'd rather be in than the family of God. It's time to take your adoption serious. And it's time to understand that this adoption that you have from God does not leave you powerless. It does not leave you weak. It has not left you abandoned, because he will never leave you or forsake you. This adoption has left you full of power and full of might. And it's time to step into your kingdom role.
Join us again next time for Encounters with Pastor Mike. And don't forget Tuesday night encounters at Foster Park in Hallandale at 7 p.m. Room 115. And be sure to join us next Tuesday for a new installment of Encounters with Pastor Mike.